Jedi Master Obi Wan Kenobi made one huge mistake that greatly contributed to Anakin Skywalker's turn to the dark side and the execution of Order 66. There is no question that Obi-Wan is a highly skilled Jedi, but just like all the others, Obi-Wan made mistakes. Many of these mistakes were small and correctable, but there were a few that were catastrophic. His biggest mistake directly concerns Anakin. In Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon Jinn makes it clear that he believes Anakin is the chosen one and refuses to accept the Jedi High Council's answer when they tell him that they sense too much fear in Anakin to allow his training, as he instead tells them that he will train Anakin no matter what. Later on, when Qui-Gon lay dying in Obi-Wan's arms, he makes his newly knighted apprentice promise to train the boy in his stead, and Obi-Wan decides to follow through on this promise. Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't ready to be a Jedi Master. The newly knight Jedi had just finished his own apprenticeship. Obi-Wan wasn't ready to be a Jedi Master at the time he was knighted. Throughout The Phantom Menace, Obi-Wan struggles to remain in the moment and center himself in the Force. This is best demonstrated during his and Qui-Gon's climactic fight with Darth Maul. During the confrontation, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul get separated by a series of ray shields. Rather than taking the time to meditate like his master, he paces angrily. This prevents him from using an ability such as Force Speed to get to Qui-Gon. This struggle continued throughout the prequel trilogy. To make matters worse, Obi-Wan was only knighted when he was because Qui-Gon wanted to take on Anakin as an apprentice. While Qui-Gon confidently said that he believed Obi-Wan was ready, his desire to train Anakin was a contributing factor to his push for Obi-Wan's trials. This suggests that Obi-Wan's knighthood was rushed to an extent, and it was worsened by him taking on a Padawan straightaway. He hadn't had the chance to come into his own as a Jedi Knight and get used to his new rank before gaining an apprentice. Not only that, but he felt pressured into it by Qui-Gon. He cared deeply for his master and didn't want to let him down. When Qui-Gon asked Obi-Wan to promise to train Anakin, Obi-Wan couldn't resist fulfilling his master's dying wish. He was traumatized and felt obligated, which isn't a good combination. Anakin Skywalker was too traumatized for Obi-Wan's teaching style. Obi-Wan's rather harsh teaching style contributed to Anakin's internal struggle. Obi-Wan's teaching style mainly consisted of sarcasm and lectures, which was the worst teaching style Obi-Wan could have used on Anakin. Anakin was deeply traumatized by his childhood, and to make matters even worse, he also had trauma from how the Jedi Council treated him. From the moment they met him, they told him that he was both special and extra powerful as the chosen one and someone to be feared and mistrusted. These confusing signals led to resentment, an inflated ego, and frustration at being treated like a loose cannon. Obi-Wan's teaching style reinforced these toxic messages. He belittled Anakin, sometimes in front of others, even though he knew Anakin had spent years being humiliated and dehumanized as a slave. He would tell Anakin that he was a great Jedi, particularly in Star Wars, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, but then treat him like a child. This was not a teaching style that Anakin could handle, and it strained their relationship. While they became close after Anakin was knighted, the resentment was still there, with Anakin even telling Padme he struggled with Obi-Wan's harshness.